Breaking news. We just have found sources that Mount Rocatinda on the islands of Palais has just erupted. There's been multiple sources saying that Mount Rocatinda has been rumbling since last October of 2012, and it has now erupted. There's also multiple sources and reports that we have had mile-high ash clouds all over the island that continue to spread. As of now, 3,000 people have been evacuated from this area. So Kelly, can you please explain to me how and why do volcanoes erupt?
Well, a volcano's eruption is a purely geological reason. The pressure and density of magma causes the eruption to come up in the first place. Pressure is released as a result of plate movement. The magma rises through the cracks of the Earth's crust while the plates are actually movement, and that's how the magma reaches the surface and erupts.
So is there any difference in volcano eruptions? Like, are they all the same, or is there different reasons to why certain things happen?
They are the same in almost everything. The only difference between each eruption, they all happen the same way. The only difference between each one is how big the eruption is, or how much magma spills out, or how destructive it is. And that's all due to how much pressure and density is built up inside.
So I know that volcanoes are all built upon pressure and how they explode off of pressure. Can you please expand on the idea more for our viewers?
Well, essentially, the more pressure there is, the bigger the eruption. Like in the eruption of Rocatinda, there was a very small eruption that lasted about 7 or 8 minutes, and it only lasted that very short amount of time, only because there is only a little bit of pressure built up.
So what I have here is a chart on positive and negative feedback. Can you please explain to me what they are and explain to which category a volcano falls into?
Well, volcanoes fall into both categories. For one, the first one, the negative feedback loop, would be when the lava comes like falling down the mountain and it's burning everything in its path, trees, houses, killing people, destroying property, everything is gone, so that would be the negative feedback. But the positive one would be that as soon as the lava cools down, a new layer of land forms, and that is where we get such rich soil for farming.
Thank you, Kelly, on that fascinating news. Now here's Rebecca.
Let's take a look back to the year 79 AD. When the historically famous volcano called Mount Vesuvius destroyed the city of Pompeii. During these times, there were no official protocols for volcanic eruptions, for they had never experienced such a deadly amount of volcanic ash. The only protocol they were familiar with was to relocate themselves to another place or to follow the screaming people.
So here are a couple of safety tips for volcanic eruptions. Are there any specific safety protocols for each city?
Well, each area that is prone to volcanic eruptions has their own local protocol to follow. However, they are all very similar. If there is mud flow formation in your area, it is important to relocate yourself to high ground due to the hot ash that can move from 20 to 40 miles per hour. It is also important to tune in to local news broadcasts and radio stations for the safety protocol in your area. If you are caught outside during a volcano eruption, it is important to cover your head and try to relocate yourself inside. After a volcanic eruption occurs, it is important to cover your mouth and protect your skin. You can achieve this by wearing long pants and long sleeve shirts.
Today, to August 10, 2013, we have
The pressure is released as plate movement of tectonic plates and The pressure is removed as a result of plate movement.
During these times, there were no official due to the hot ash that can move 20 hours per mile.
Guys, can y'all please be quiet?